Hi guys, this is my last big run before the New York Marathon. It's next Sunday, November the 2nd, 3rd, something like that. But today is Sunday here in San Jose. We got about 50 degrees. It's a little cloudy, but it's supposed to get a little bit sunnier. This is kind of a typical kind of day here in the Bay Area when it gets to be fall, winter. It kind of starts off foggy like this, and then the sun kind of burns it off noon, 1 o'clock, something like that. So I'm hoping we got some sunshine a little bit later. But I thought it might be fun. You know, I finally kind of settled on all the crazy junk that I'm going to take with me on my run. So I thought I might do a little video, show you what I got. So I'll start off with this. Got my Garmin sports watch here. This is the Garmin 910. It works well. It has a little foot pod that you can use with it if you want to use it in the gym. I'd use that a lot. It also has a heart rate monitor that you can use with it as well. It also syncs wirelessly with a little USB stick that you plug into your computer. It's pretty good. You can also download like the TPX files and stuff, like all the little data from your run, and use it in other programs like Google Earth or something like that if you want to plot like a, you know, some sort of track or a run or something like that. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, I use this primarily. I track all of my data, sure, but when I make my other little videos, like with my other camera, I use the TPX data from this, and then I'm able to import it into another kind of program called Dashware and kind of put like a cool little readout of like miles per hour and distance and time and all these things. So this thing comes in pretty handy, and you'll see a lot of runners with these. This is pretty typical. So, you know, I have some weird stuff that I use. This is the least weird thing that I've got. Also, I got some really cool wireless headphones that I use with my iPod. These are the Motorola S305. I went with these for a couple of reasons. First, I don't like the earbuds, the ones that can't hook around your ear or something, because, you know, I got kind of a big head and big ears, and those things fall out. So these kind of wrap around my ears. They're wireless, and also power is a big deal, and these have about 6 to 7 hours of life in them for music. So, you know, when you're doing like a marathon, even a half marathon, these work pretty well. And they're not too expensive either, like 25, 26 bucks. I got these at Target maybe, or maybe Fry's here in the Bay Area, but these do pretty well. I also use these things here. These are like the Jaybird Freedom Spirit ones. These are kind of you know, built more for like runners and triathletes and stuff. These are pretty good. And I like the way they fit. They came with things that hook around your ears, and then they have these little, they came with these are optional. You don't have to put these on, you can take them off. And then they come with these little like silicone inserts that kind of fit inside your ear, and then they get a really good fit. The drawback with these on a marathon, something that's like 26 miles, is that they don't have enough power, at least for a slow runner like me. Like you can get like maybe 4.5 hours. And I'm probably going to be maybe at 5 or 5.5 hours. So as much as I'd like to use these, I'm probably going to have to use the Motorola ones I just showed you, because these aren't going to have enough juice. Okay. Next I have this thing here. This is like my little fit belt. I wear it down here, kind of around my waist, like right here, underneath my shirt. I carry all sorts of stuff in here. I was trying to find something maybe that had a little bit more space in it, but as I've run with this, it actually works pretty well. I don't sweat through it. It doesn't, you know, by the time I'm into like a couple miles into it, I don't even know that it's there. So this actually has worked out really well. And I keep stuff like, keep my keys in here. That's important. I also use some of these little like jelly beans. Like I'll eat those, you know, kind of every once in a while through the race. You'll get these bags, and the directions will say to like eat the whole bag. Don't. These things have a lot of caffeine. I don't think it has a ton of sugar, but you eat this whole bag like in the middle of a race, you're gonna get super sick. I learned that the hard way. But you know, eat a couple, drink it with some water. Drink some water with it, and these actually do pretty well, and they do all right, at least for me. And this is a pretty good flavor. What do we got here? This is fruit punch. Yummy. The orange ones are good too. Watermelon's good, but fruit punch is a good. What else do I have? I also have a couple of protein bars. I'm going with this brand today. I've tried a couple. I've tried the Cliff bars. I've tried a couple of them, Luna bars. For some reason, the Cliff bars kind of taste like I'm eating, I don't know, cardboard or something. I mean, they have some flavors, and the flavors are cool. You know, I'm hoping that these, this is kind of a game day call, so I'm hoping that these work out. If these work out, I'm going to get a couple of these, because I need to find something to eat like mid-run, like maybe 13 miles or so, because I haven't really found a good option, so I'm hoping that this is it. I also put, today I'm hoping I need them, but I also have my sunglasses right here. Now I wear regular glasses, these are prescription, but I also put those in my little fit belt, just so you know. This is all the stuff I can get in there comfortably, and it actually feels okay. What else do we have? I'm also going to put my, I have a little like extra wallet thing for ID. I keep my ID, I keep my insurance card. I also put about $5 cash, and then I carry my debit card. So in case there is a problem or something, I'm ready to go. This is pretty easy to conceal and carry. It's not a lot of weight, and it does okay. So you might want to find something like this for your stuff, but make sure that if you're out on these long runs, like today I'm doing this by myself, and this, it might not sound like the biggest thing. I'm going to run like 20 miles today, but when you're doing this stuff by yourself, you kind of need to think about weird stuff like that, because God forbid something happens to me out here. It's just me. So hopefully someone will find me and open my little thing and be like, ooh, okay, this is John and blah, blah, blah. Or not. Or maybe they'll just take my $6 and hit bricks. That's the stuff I'll keep in my little fit belt that I showed you just a minute ago. Also, kind of a centerpiece of the setup is my iPhone. Now I use this, I play some tunes. Along the way, I just started putting stuff into like a crazy playlist called like Let's Run. And there's probably like 500 songs in there. So it's probably way more than I'll need for a run like this. But nonetheless, I use it for music. And then I also have one of those cool little running apps. It's called Nike Running. I have a bunch of apps in there, but Nike Running, it's the one in the top row in the middle. There's also one in there called Nike plus iPod. That one is pretty cool. It comes with the phone. Like if you get an iPhone, I think it comes standard with the phone. It's like one of the built-in apps. You've got to enable it like in the settings, but it's built in. And what's cool about it is that you just go out, you get like a little $20 sensor, and then you can use that app to track your stuff like in the gym and stuff. So like when I run at the gym, I have one of those little Nike RF things in my shoe, and then it translates here to the phone, and poof, it's all there. The Nike Running app, it uses GPS, and you can get like you know, a map of your run. It also kind of tracks you know, distance and time, pace, things like that. You know, oh boy, Gloria's crushing me at the moment. I've been a little hurt. I've been dealing with an injury. I know this is going to sound like the oddest thing, but I was cleaning my bathtub, and I'm pretty tall. I'm like 6'2", and when I've had to bend over a lot to do it, and I pulled my hamstrings. And that's been for about a week and a half now. I've been dealing with that, so I kind of had to back up on the training. But I actually feel pretty good today. We got some good weather, and I'm hoping that the sun comes out here pretty soon. But the Nike Plus running app, that's a good one. You should check it out. The last thing, and this is the part where I look the most ridiculous, is I like to wear a camera on my hat when I do these long runs, especially like when I'm running something like New York, when I did Disneyland and San Francisco and a couple others, and I use what's called the Contour +2 camera. Now the one I have has a GPS feature, also a Bluetooth feature that you can use with an app on your iPhone as like a viewfinder, because as you can see, you know, there's no viewfinder. This is very comparable to the GoPro that a lot of guys use. The difference between this one is, you know, it's obviously got a little bit better shape. At least I think it does. The GoPros are a little boxy. Also, mounting this was a lot easier than the GoPro. It can use up to a 64 gig, you know, micro SD card. So that's pretty cool, because you have kind of external storage. You don't have to worry about plugging your USB in and waiting for the camera to transfer it. You can, if you have one of those SD ports on your laptop or something, you can just plug it in. It's a lot faster. At least it is for me. I don't use the Bluetooth feature on this too much because it drains the battery life. And that's another thing with this is you only get about 2 hours out of the battery. So for this marathon, I had to get, oddly enough, I had to think about power. I probably shouldn't be wearing it, but I thought about power, and I got 2 extra batteries. So that should be able to get me through the marathon. The other thing about this is it has, like, you can turn, it has a what they call a 270-degree field of vision. So when you turn this, like, you know, it kind of, so you don't have to, like, if you're editing the video, you don't have to go in and in post edit, like flip it upside down or something. This way it keeps it consistent and true. It keeps you at a horizon, which is pretty cool. Lastly, mounting it was a bit of a challenge. I'm like, can I mount it on my shoulder? Can I put it on like my iPod thing that I wear on my arm? Turns out I came up with a better idea. I got the hat mount, and the hat mount, they say you're supposed to mount it like here on the side. Like, you know, you'll wear it out here and the camera will be out here on the side of your head. But then I did it like that, and you had like the side of the hat was blocking like maybe 10 or 20% of the field of view. So it wasn't ideal. So what I ended up doing was I mounted it to the bill of the hat. I drilled a couple of holes in there, and then I used some small tie straps, and I just tie strapped it to the hat, and it does pretty well. You still get a lot of bounce, but that's going to happen with something like this. You know, let's give you a little something here. All right, got the hat on here. It makes the hat a little heavy, especially near the end of the run, because then it's like down near my eyes and it's kind of goofy. And I know this is the goofiest looking thing in the world. But oddly enough, as I've done these runs, and people, like, at first they're like, wow, this is a goofy looking dude. Let's see here, let's do this. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm taping me, taping for you. So you can kind of see here, and it kind of follows my eyes too. It kind of follows, it's a little bit above, but it follows as I move my head and I move my eyes, and you can see kind of, you know, where this is kind of an advantage having it here. I've seen some guys with the GoPros, they put them on a stick and they run with them at these things. That could be okay, but, you know, you can't have it on for the whole run. Like, can you imagine like holding something out here for an entire run, like on a stick? It's crazy. So this kind of helps me manage that. Lastly, today I'm going to be running the Guadalupe Trail. This is a great trail here in San Jose. It runs from, this is like one of the trailheads. This is like one end of it. And this is a few miles from my apartment. It looks like you could go over on the other side of this bridge here, and there's more of it. They just haven't got it all paved. I mean, it's really kind of a classy for a running trail. But it's really kind of a cool place to run because there's no stoplights. It's a straight shot. They've built an underpass under all the major roads, so you can just freaking go. And it goes from here, and at this point it'll go all the way 10 miles to where they've started doing some construction. Now a buddy of mine told me I could go up and around and get back on it around the construction, but I didn't find that route yet. So I planned it from here to where the construction starts, which is about 10 miles, and then I'll come back. And that's down near the other side of the airport, the San Jose airport. And it should be a pretty good run. We got about 50 degrees today, and hopefully it warms up a little bit more. It's a little chilly, but this might be good because I have a feeling this is what it's going to be like on race day in New York on next Sunday. So I'm hoping that that this will kind of prepare me for that. Lastly, today I've got to carry a couple things in my pocket because I don't have, like, you know, if you've ever done any of these runs before, I don't have any of those cool like tables that people are going to be out there giving me cups of water. So I'm going to carry this in my hand for a little while and kind of drink it along the way. And then when I get about halfway through, I'll probably have one of my protein bars, and then I'm going to have this in my pocket. It's one of those. It's Gatorade. You could use it as Powerade, whatever. But a lot of stuff I've been reading, like as you go through the race, if you don't have something to like kind of build up your electrolytes or kind of replenish something more than what water can do, you could run into some trouble. So I'm going to carry these two things today. Hopefully this big bottle doesn't make my pants fall down. I have been carrying a smaller bottle, a little 12-ounce bottle, but it wasn't quite enough. So I went and got the big dog today, the 20-ounce bottle, and hopefully this works out. So hopefully you had fun watching. So many of my videos are just like me pointing straight ahead. But today I'm going to do my last big run. Maybe I'll put a little bit more on this when I get back, and you can see just how beat I am after 20 miles. But here we go. We're going to start here in a little bit. See ya. Alrighty, friends. Back where we started. Wasn't a bad run. I wanted to do 20 miles, but the trail ended sooner than I thought, so I only got in about 18. But that's still a pretty good tune-up for New York. I feel pretty good. I have a bit of a blister issue. If I can solve that, I'm on pace for about 5 hours, maybe 5 hours 30. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll probably see you when I do New York. Have a good one.